if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. You do not sell your Bitcoin. Thank you.
Bitcoin is worthless artificial gold.
Within a decade, crypto and blockchain technology will be the 12th sector of the S&P.
Bitcoin doesn't have any value in and of itself. It's not backed up by anything.
Roughly a coin, average price of $30,700. Spent about $4 million on it.
Is that we are not buying this dip because it's not a dip.
Baby bulls worldwide are clenching their teeth in anticipation of potentially the biggest switcheroo of the century. As trillions and trillions of moon boys have been left out to dry, covered in the crusty dumpage of the baby bears of bull runs past, is Bitcoin about to bust much bigger than SBF watching sweet, sweet Caroline take off her glasses? Right now, Bitcoin's price is more flat than a crypto investor's pulse and will to live. However, something extremely big is setting up right now that simply cannot be ignored. To get to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications, never misses absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Without any further ado, let's just dump into this absolutely insane content here. So with Bitcoin first, absolutely mind-blowing. We've seen the biggest withdrawal of Bitcoin from exchanges because of what happened over the last couple of weeks, coinciding as well with the price completely getting dumped on, which does not happen. Usually if the price dumps, Bitcoin moves on to exchanges in anticipation to sell or potentially trade. And when the price pumps, usually Bitcoin gets withdrawn from exchanges, potentially in anticipation of holding and just comfort in their position of riding the wave to the upside. But now for the first time in recorded history since planet Earth was created only 2,000 years ago, Bitcoin is being dumped on and withdrawn like never before. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin's chart, though, because we've just seen a complete flatline that we have not seen the likes of before this range that we were in for literally about 5 months leading up to this big dump, where we sat at 20K for forever. And now the pressure building up to push us back to 20K is growing, and it's immense. Now, going back to $20,000 per Bitcoin is not the start of a new bull run. It is. In fact, it's not even really that bullish. It is just an, as you could say, a kind of like an equilibrium level for Bitcoin that it absolutely wants to go back to. Now, with that being said, we have some sort of a double bottom type structure so far that we've set on November 9th and then as well on November 21st, a couple of weeks later, right at about 15.5, about $1,000 lower than price currently is. We're about $1,000 above that right now. And pressure absolutely is building up for Bitcoin to potentially make that move up to the upside. We see the 21-day moving averages on all of these top coins, ETH included, you can see this green line, is right where the price is right now. And Bitcoin, the entire crypto space, is looking to bust back above those levels over this coming week. Now, we have some things, obviously, we need to be watching. The next CPI is in about 2 weeks, so that'll be important to watch as well. But in my opinion, most importantly, as we open up this new week, if the SPX is set up to not double top here and explode to the upside, and if the DXY is to not double bottom here and dump to the downside, again, these are insane setups that we're seeing right now, and the tides are turning. Whether or not it happens in the next few weeks or not, the tides are turning. The DXY's days are numbered in terms of just parabolic structure only to the upside that really began like nearly 2 years ago. Those days are numbered. And, with that being said, that gives some possible breathing room for the crypto space. Now, I don't think we're going to be seeing a bull run anytime soon. I don't think we're going to be seeing all-time highs anytime soon. But a relief to bare minimum the $20,000 range, and in my opinion, more likely the $30,000 range within not that long of a time period, I think is increasingly more likely. And before we continue with that as well, this Bitcoin price model here, 16,000, just showing a really good buy opportunity. It shows that, historically, the CVDD lines up with basically exactly where we're at right now. And it has marked bottoms in the past. And the demand for Bitcoin is not extremely high right now, but there's absolutely not a lot of people dumping at these prices. Insane dumpage, cataclysmic dumpage is already behind us. That doesn't mean we can't go to 10K, but I'm saying that like 90+% of the real dumpage I believe, in my opinion, has already come to pass. And that also does not mean that we're just going to enter a new bull run anytime soon, okay? None of this is really that bullish. However, the possibility of a very strong relief up to at least these levels that we saw is just very, very likely. And that's why I'm trading this. That's why I'm very, interested over the next few weeks. I'm not saying this will happen within the next day at all. But what I'm saying is there's a very big opportunity where the pressure is so lopsided right now. And I think that is just very exciting. Just a relief, I think, is just very likely. But that does not mean we're not going to have shakeouts, fakeouts, and everything in between. In the meantime, there's absolutely still many people, in fact, most people are waiting to actually see this become a very big bull trap and dump down to that $12,000 to $14,000 range. Potentially, so many people really want to see that $10,000 specifically target. Will it happen? Nobody knows. But there is just, again, I draw your attention to this. There's so much support, just not that much further below us. 12,000 to 14,000 comes in very, very big. So if we do get another dump, which I personally think can only happen if some really bad news, let's say Binance collapses or something. Only something like that, in my opinion, will take us down there. At which point, if that would happen again, then I think it would be a no-brainer for almost everyone if we get down to that $12,000 to $14,000 range, or again, barring the most dumpy event of all time, even below that, maybe even to 10K. If Bitcoin would hit 10K, I would assume all of the veterans in the space, everybody, even the mega bears right now, would then flip bullish if that would happen, right? The mega bears have been calling for 10K. Anyone realistically calling for much lower than 10K, basically the only way I see that happening is if every single thing in the crypto space implodes, we get the worst regulation imaginable, and then maybe 20 other horrible things, right? It would take a lot. It would take a lot. And is it possible? Yeah, of course. Anything can happen. How likely is it though? That's where I find difficulty believing that it's the most likely scenario, especially considering we're completely dumped on. Now is the time where fear is most believable, right? When we're getting completely crushed like we are right now, it is so easy for people to say, look how bad it's been. It's going to get so much worse. You think that's bad? Oh, well, you haven't seen anything yet. It's so easy for fear to be pervasive and to be effective like that when we're already dumped on. However, very often that fear is complete baloney. It's turkey gobble very often. Usually when things are just really, really, really bad and you're fearful that they're about to get 20 billion times worse, usually, not even just crypto, usually that's just a byproduct of human psychology running rampant. And fear. It's just fear. Fear is fear is one of the most powerful emotions. And all I'm saying is if we're being rational and not just giving into emotions, then it's more likely that a return to 20K over these next few weeks is more likely than anything. So these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Take advantage of over $30,000 in deposit bonuses below, specifically with BITGET. In addition, if you just sign up with the link below, put in an email, create a password, it takes 30 seconds. You get $30 free as a welcome gift as well. Also, there's massive deposit bonuses and huge deposit bonuses with BitGet and Femex, in addition to BITGET below. Without any further ado, it's